If you were an opposing coach game planning to stop Caitlin Clark, what would you do?
Pray.
How do you explain her?
Kobe Bryant with a ponytail. Seriously, like apex predator, great basketball player who wants to steal your soul.
Just bounces off that, drops it in, and she'll go to the line. And look at the emotion.
Every building she goes into is a different energy.
And to see all those people, oh my gosh.
They sell out every road game. It's like a rock band tour. They sell out every road game.
I like the way you put that, Zach. It's kind of like a Beatles moment.
We're on the bus and we're all just kind of like, oh my gosh.
You're walking out into a sea, like quite literally a sea of gold.
Caitlin Clark is playing at a whole different level right now, and America is watching.
Hi, Caitlin.
Hey, what's up, Caitlin?
Caitlin.
Hey, Caitlin.
Caitlin.
Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark.
She's growing Iowa's economy.
Tim McGraw comes out on stage in Des Moines wearing a Caitlin Clark jersey. I mean, it's bananas right now.
She's advanced, man. She could do a lot out there.
Clark coming off a screen, top of the key, three, swish.
There's always somebody who's going to want to see you fall.
She is the greatest scorer college basketball has ever seen.
Caitlin Clark is now a household name, but not for no reason. She has become one of the best ever to play the game of basketball, and tens of millions of people have come together to watch her play. And so I asked myself, what exactly is her story? How did she get to where she is today? I did a deep dive and spent hundreds of hours reading and watching everything Caitlin Clark. And it's safe to say her journey wasn't easy, and she certainly encountered some unexpected challenges, including some serious controversy.
I think that's going to be a flagrant one.
Now, to fully understand who Caitlin really is, we'll start with her early childhood and quickly move throughout her life to see why she's currently one of the most famous athletes in all of sports. Join me in experiencing the rise of Caitlin Clark. It's 2009 and Caitlin is in elementary school.
Well, my mom has this like piece of paper like when I was in 2nd or 3rd grade, and it has like you write down like all your dreams in like these little bubbles. And I remember one of them was playing the WNBA and earn a basketball scholarship. Growing up playing with the boys, like I played with the boys, honestly, I think until about 6th grade, which is probably a lot longer than most girls. And my older brother was always just bigger, stronger, faster. So whenever I wanted to play with him and his friends, like I just got picked on or you know, I never won really anything. I really struggled with understanding losing. And my parents did not really appreciate that at all. Whenever I would lose, when I was in either softball, basketball, whatever it was, I would just cry. That was my immediate reaction because I couldn't comprehend why wasn't I winning. And my mom always said, like, if you want to play with them, you got to find a way to hold your own.
It was easy to tell right when I met her and saw her play in the spring before her 9th grade year that she just had a lot of talent that you don't see naturally. And she just kept growing and evolving and improving throughout her high school years. Her court vision, she's fearless on the court. She, just isn't scared of anything and just plays really big. I mean, she just works so hard and she loves the game. And she loves challenging herself and trying, just new different moves, challenging shots, challenging passes. And so it was just really fun to see kind of her growth and development over her 4 years in high school.
As a high schooler, Clark clinching a spot on Team USA's youth squad, winning 3 gold medals on the global stage.
And this is Caitlin Clark.
But recounts a humbling setback.
But I remember when you were a rising junior, they didn't put you on the team.
Yeah.
And that seemed to fire you up just like it did Jordan when he didn't make the varsity team.
I went to try out the next year, and honestly, I hurt my pinky during training camp, but I kept playing, I was fine. But also I just played really bad. I didn't deserve to be on the team. So I think, honestly, that's one of the lowest points of my basketball career is you're on the team the previous year, you win a gold medal, and then you go back to try out with all your teammates from the prior year. But I think it really allowed me to find another fire. And I think it just pushed me to work even harder and get better and, you know, want to prove people wrong.
She has a great work ethic.
She's the first one in the gym, last one to leave.
And she's always been one who's kind of focused on the here and now. So I think she had those long-term goals, but she just wanted to every day maximize her potential and her time and her efforts.
I always wanted to be the best, and there was times where I definitely wasn't or I failed, but you get back up and you keep trying, and I think perseverance has always been a big thing too.
All right, so you made 233 out of 300. This is kind of your routine. How do you feel about 233?
I think it's a good number. Threes were a little bit, I wouldn't say lower. I'll still take 63, but I want to be more so around 70 if I can.
Yeah.
81 mid-range is really, really good. Usually around 75 there, and anytime I can get to around 90 out of 100 free throws, I like that number.
She sees the game differently than anyone I've ever met. The game is slower for her.
Taken away by Clark. Down pass to Stalky. Layup. Two more.
During Caitlin's freshman year, she started to focus on strength and conditioning. And by her sophomore year, people started to take notice.
And I think a lot of it has to do with her logo threes.
Clark from the logo! She gets it out of that left hand, and it's money. T-point. You bet!
He's trying to redirect a pass. Clark. Oh, my!
Clark, can she answer? Of course. You better be careful. There might be another one coming right here.
Ducharme has good size.
Clark steps into a deep three.
A long three by Clark.
So Caitlin Clark just starts hitting these insane logo threes and starts gaining a lot of popularity and attention. So more and more people are starting to show up and watch her play.
Welcome to round 2 of the NCAA Women's Basketball Tournament from Iowa City, Iowa.
People on the road were coming to see the Iowa Hawkeyes. People on the road were coming to see Caitlin Clark. And I would be, talking to my team, and I would see signs in the background saying, I'm from Boston, but I came here to see Caitlin Clark and the Iowa Hawkeyes. When you see signs like that at visiting arenas, you're realizing it's kind of special.
So, it means the world to me. People are spending so much time, money, and resources just to get in the door and watch us play, and the way the crowds scream, it's something that literally will never get old.
Hawks go up by 4 and asking for the crowd.
During every national anthem, I literally just look around and soak in the crowd and take a deep breath, because these are some of the best moments of my life, and I get to do it with my best friends, but also the way we've been able to kind of change women's basketball and bring more attention to it is really special.
So we're in Caitlin's junior year, and thousands of people are going to watch Caitlin play. And just think, anytime you go to a big event, in this case, a basketball game, you're not only just buying tickets, you're taking public transportation, you're buying merchandise, you're eating at local restaurants, you're staying at local hotels. And so pretty soon, all of these people are contributing to local economies. Which brings us to Clarkonomics.
Caitlin Clark is not only growing women's basketball, she's growing Iowa's economy.
Yeah, a nonpartisan research group estimates she helped bring in more than $52 million in the past year.
But this is the Caitlin Clark effect. The highest ticket price in women's college basketball happened earlier in the year. Now this has to be the highest sessions average ticket price in the history of the tournament. What a business, what a monster Caitlin Clark really is.
My biggest focus is just going out there and playing basketball and having so much fun, but I would be lying if I didn't say I do realize everything that's happening around me, and just, hotel prices on days we have games here in Iowa City, or the way restaurants are packed, or how expensive it is just to walk into a door to one of our games.
This morning at breakfast, a gal came in. She bought a single ticket for $500. $500.
To put this in perspective, an average NBA regular season ticket is around $72, and an average NBA playoff ticket is around $405. Let that sink in.
Attendance to games also rose, with an increase of 178% this year compared to last.
The Caitlin Clark effect can be described as a statewide and even a nationwide phenomenon.
There's huge economic impact, not only for our state and our region and things like that, but for all of these other universities and properties where she's playing.
The Clark effect is apparently not just an economic enhancement. It also has an intangible effect.
Now the young people are moving here. It's because of people like Caitlin Clark. It's because of the job opportunities here. We've turned this place into a cool place to live.
So thousands of spectators soon turn into millions of viewers tuning in to watch Caitlin play. Now, Caitlin is racking up the points, and so all of these viewers start to witness Caitlin break history.
Here comes Clark. How will she go for history? There it is! The all-time leading scorer in women's college basketball.
Glue of the team, the mother hen as they've called her.
Caitlin Clark hits the three-pointer, and Clark makes history once again. No one in the history of the sport has hit more threes in a season than Clark has this year.
And with that, beats none other than Steph Curry, arguably the greatest shooter of all time in the men's or women's game.
This for college basketball history. She does it with a foul shot. Caitlin Clark becomes the all-time leading scorer in major college basketball history, passing Pistol Pete Maravich.
So you just witnessed 3 of the biggest NCAA records one could possibly break. But that was just 3. Caitlin has broke so many records and also won a ton of awards. Like, look at this. Freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, then senior year. Like, it's literally insane. So Caitlin and the Hawkeyes then go back-to-back in NCAA championship games. Unfortunately, they lost both, which is super tough. And this is where a lot of controversy starts. Some saying she isn't that great because she didn't win a championship game.
Does Caitlin Clark need a championship to be considered one of the greats in women's college basketball history?
Yeah, she does.
With the first pick in the 2024 WNBA draft, the Indiana Fever select Caitlin Clark, University of Iowa.
Caitlin is now in the WNBA, but her transition hasn't been the easiest for 2 reasons. Now, the majority of people are ecstatic to have Caitlin join the WNBA, but for some, there's a level of hate.
Carter and Clark. I mean, that's clearly a foul, which was called. The question is, will they call it unnecessary? I think that's going to be a flagrant one, and
I'm talking about in college. Who plays the style that how?
What is the
plays?
style? Just threes?
Wow. It's not just threes.
What is her style?
Second page. Next question. So you had the #1 pick this year. You would take Paige over Caitlin? Absolutely.
Does Caitlin Clark need a championship to be considered one of the greats in women's college basketball history?
Yeah, she does.
Is Caitlin Clark the best player ever? What is the answer?
I will say respectfully, no. Caitlin Clark is not the greatest player of all time.
I do think that there is a thing called pretty privilege. There is a thing called white privilege. There is a thing called tall privilege. And we have to acknowledge that. And so the part of it is about race.
You know, there's a very small number of men and women that actually get to live out their dream of playing a professional sport. And we have grown men and women out here doing whatever they can to try to make sure that does not happen. That is the weirdest thing in the world.
Hey, LeBron, you're 100% right on these girls hating on Caitlin Clark. Y'all petty girls. I expect men to be petty because we're the most insecure group in the world. You are. Y'all should be thanking that girl for getting y'all private charters, all the money and visibility she bringing to the WNBA. Don't be petty like dudes. Listen, what she's accomplished. Give her flowers. Stop being petty, all you women out there. She got y'all charters. She bringing all y'all this money to the table, but y'all being petty like dudes. LeBron, you are 100% right.
There has been huge anticipation for Caitlin's arrival to the WNBA, but this negative drama has captured the limelight. And to add to it, Caitlin and the Fever have a rough start.
And they are now 0-5 on the season. My goodness.
Yeah, not the best start.
But it's important to note that the Fever got Caitlin as a first-round draft pick because they had the worst record last year. So it's not like Caitlin was walking on a strong team to begin with.
But that's part of adjusting to the WNBA, right? Maybe not having it happen this early, but part of professional sports is you're going to have some stretches that don't go your way. You're going to shoot bad, your team's going to lose, and how do you respond to that?
With two. Shot at the buzzer, not going to do it for Caitlin Clark.
Everybody's clearly got their defensive game plan built around her, which is a compliment, but you got to figure it out from there.
They've got numbers, and she will wisely hold it up. That quick pass. Suarez picks it off.
Those free throws for Breanna Stewart, now 24th all time on the WNBA scoring list. And the Liberty looking for more. Ionescu
waits, takes, and Thomas off and running for Connecticut. Carrington lays it in as the Sun turn it into quick transition point.
This shot going off the court and all the way up to the tunnel. This was a long conversation, and I love Aaliyah Boston pouring into this young rookie. It's supposed to be hard. This is an adjustment period, and Aaliyah making sure that her rookie knows we have your back. I love that leadership from Aaliyah Boston. It has been a hard first half.
It's definitely difficult. I feel like I've had to grow up pretty fast. Like I'm only 22 years old. I feel younger than that at times, and I'm trying to navigate moving to a new city by myself. I'm trying to navigate, playing in a new league on top of everything else that has come with it. And, I think it's an adjustment for me to be able to wipe one game and move on to the next. I think that's kind of been, one of the biggest things for me is just my ability to move on, and that's something I'll learn as I, progress through my career.
It's just timing and playing together and getting to know each other and understanding where each other are going to be on the court at different times. It just takes time.
During the next month, the Fever start building chemistry, and with it, we start to see things change for Caitlin and the Fever. We get bits and pieces of the Caitlin that everybody loves watching.
And she'll take the first three-pointer and knock it down and treat the fans to that. Sabrina Ionescu. Here's Caitlin Clark driving. She's got the first 5 points. Wow. And makes it 7-0. What a start.
And what a pep to their step right now.
Caitlin Clark, 13 points. Pocket pass to Aaliyah Boston. Those two keep getting better and better together. Coming into the game.
Logo! Clark with a deep three.
That you've been waiting for.
Clark, nice feed. Wallace with the layup. And Caitlin Clark catalyzing a comeback here. Bonner gets denied by Boston. Wheeler finds Clark from the logo.
Look at Wheeler staring to the right side, knows who's there, drop pass behind. Could be the deepest shot we've seen Caitlin Clark make as a pro. Big one.
And this building is rocking.
3 and some change left to play here in the first quarter. Caitlin Clark pulls it back, knocks it down. Her third 3 of the quarter. Caitlin Clark to Smith. A rocket of a pass. Again penetrating. Thornton with a 3 on the way. And the first triple-double for a rookie. Caitlin Clark has it. More history for the Fever rookie. The records keep coming.
Started out in college, rolling into her pro career already. That is remarkable.
No small feat right there. You know what I loved? When she got the rebound, everyone in this building knew.
You know, you see rebounds and points more than you see assists in there. It's tough to do all three. I mean, that's just incredible.
This crowd was waiting for it.
I get just as much joy throwing a really good pass to my teammates as I do making a logo three. And I think that at times can make us a lot harder to guard, and even myself harder to guard, because sure, you can take away my shots and stuff, but I'm going to find a way to get my teammates open, and I take a lot of pride in that.
Don't get it twisted. Caitlin Clark is the reason why a lot of great things is going to happen for the WNBA.
The marketplace decides that. The people have chosen Caitlin Clark. They enjoy watching her play, her style, her energy, her shot.
She is a shining star. I mean, and you know, then the thing I like about her, man, she doesn't say a word. Right. I mean, yeah, she's never said a word about anybody. She just shows up and does her job.
I want my legacy to be the impact that I can have on young kids. And I was just that young girl, so all you have to do is dream that you can be in moments like this.
Now, the world will continue to watch Caitlin play, but no one can argue with the fact that she has become one of the most prolific scorers in college basketball history, has inspired hundreds of thousands of kids, and most of all, has changed the way the world views women's basketball.
You don't have to be anything but yourself. Ever, 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 ever. You guys are good enough. You're good enough. You're good enough to be Indiana. You're good enough to be anybody in the United States. If you just be you. Together, 1, 2, 3, together!